Hi, welcome. My name's Tina, and this channel is all about healing and evolving. And what I just channeled was just so beautiful, and I wanted to share it today. Um, it was a being of the highest light. Now, I some people might call that an angelic being, but I'm not sure. I don't know yet exactly what that being was that came through me, but it was huge. It was full of love. Absolutely, the feeling of love made me absolutely. I was sobbing um, afterwards because of the sheer love and beauty of it and such power. Um, so I asked a few questions today of the being, why it's so hard and so scary for us humans to look at our wounds and our faults, and all those emotions that go along with that. And this is, I will share now what the answers were. So, you attach to this creation that you make for yourselves called identity, and it becomes your framework for how you live, who you are, and how you act. This framework is hard to let go of as it holds a denseness. It helps in keeping you stuck in a denseness yourself. You feel safe with this denseness and structure, but this is a fallacy, a false perception. When you realize that you are safe in your fluidity, your shifting energetic self, this is your freedom and safety all at once. This perception as heaviness, structure, and form to mean safety is why it is so hard for you to look at the very things that are keeping you in denseness or dense. Because you think if you let them go, you will not be safe or exist in a recognizable form. To let go of the dense structures of thought, belief, identity is frightening to you, therefore. So if when you think about this is just me talking now. As humans, what we do live in this very third, fourth dimensional reality, don't we? What we see, what we can pick up, what we can hold, what we can physically do. Um, and that feels very safe to us, the physical things. Even for myself, when I more recently started actively channeling, it gave me quite a lot of uncertainty feelings of, is this real? Gosh, I wish it was more, you know, solid, more solid, because that's what makes us feel safe, solidness. And yet, that is the thing, that solidness is the thing that's stopping us from becoming who we really are, accessing our true self, our higher self, our expansiveness. So it's like this catch-22 that we're in. And then I asked about emotions, because emotions also, dealing with difficult emotions, are really another thing that us humans hate to do. We don't like feeling them, we don't like looking at them, we don't let them out. So difficult emotions like sadness, grief, anger, all hold a denser vibration and energy that is disturbing to your innate energies, and you feel this. Although you don't recognize the energetic density, but you feel them as disturbing. So what was meant by that is that we feel the emotions and they sort of consume us and they throw us off and they feel very intense and very uncomfortable, but we don't recognize them as just a heavier energy, a denser energy. Um, and then it said, and then the message came through, you avoid these feelings, but then carry them in tight packages. So condensed. In your being, you hold them in, carry them in tight packages in your being for long periods of time rather than facing them and letting them disperse. The more you can let them and disperse them, the less they will interfere in your energy, the less they will impact you. When you hold them in tight packages and on your being, they bother you more. So this tight packages, what was meant was condensed. Because we don't want to look at them and when we look at them and face our emotions, they need space. You're literally letting them come up to the surface like a bubble of air in water. And then it comes up, it swells and it gets bigger and then bursts and disperses. So it was like that. And what we're doing them is holding them in these condensed packages. I like that wording that came through in our being so that we don't have to look at them. But then that makes them more dense, more solid, and more painful, more heavy. And what was shown was that the more we can just let them and disperse them, the less they will bother. They'll become less and less significant, less and less bothersome to us, less and less intense. So then I asked about faults. Why is it so difficult for us to look at our faults? And they said faults are, you hold a lot of seriousness about your faults as though they were your fault. And then there was laughter, there was much lightness and humor with this. So I love that. It was, so you hold a lot of seriousness about your faults as though they were your fault. But they are small, insignificant aspects that you can choose to let go of if you want. We see you humans struggle with so many of these sorts of things and you take them so seriously, but you don't have to. There is a lot of fear in you around seeing, in the smaller sense of the word and the greater. And by seeing is exactly what they meant. Seeing our wounds, so all the things I was asking about, seeing our faults, seeing or feeling our emotions, and seeing in the greater sense, they meant psychically, that ability that we have to see far more than this 3-4 dimensional dense world that we live in, or dense reality that we live in. There's a lot of fear in you around seeing in the smaller sense of the word and the greater. Seeing is a gift that you all have and you can easily use it for your benefit, as is feeling, sensing, and knowing. You all have these abilities. You choose to keep everything so small. Who you are, what you do, what you desire. Expand into the greatness, the wholeness, the everything. There is so much available to you. Oh, I can feel the tingles all the way through just as I relay this to you. There's so much available to you. Life, or your lives, can be so much simpler. And if you could see and feel the bigger picture, you would understand this. You can choose to not get caught up in the denseness, the heaviness, and the seriousness of it. And what they were showing me was the ease of being in the existence of energetics and less form, less density, less structure. And we humans have we attach so much need and that feeling of safety that they said to density, to structure, to form. It makes it real to us. It makes us real. And the size of it they were showing me they was an individual. It felt like they were carrying the energy of so many more beings than just themselves. The size of it and the love was just vast. Um, yeah, wow. It was just so beautiful. And I found the information that came through and the questions I asked and the answers were so profound that I wanted to share them with you. Maybe they help, maybe you can resonate with it. One of the important things that I want to say about this channel is that one of the key things for me is integrity. And because this active channeling work, it was something that I practiced or played with, a little play with, worked with many years ago. And then life took over. So I did other things that were still in the healing realm, but more on a very practical level. And that has given me so many tools and awareness and understandings that it was meant to be. I see that now, that wow, I've come full circle and I've come back to this place, but with so much more awareness and understanding now. So, but this new reawakened channeling is new to me again this last few months. So there was the question in me, because I'm quite analytical, I'm Virgo, of course I'm analytical, and I want to be of the highest integrity. So this will be one of my key intentions, to have integrity and be authentic. The authentic side for what I'm getting is quite different to what I was, the identity I had up till recently. So it feels quite vulnerable and quite scary to share this stuff that's coming through. But integrity and authenticity is what I value. So if this resonates with you, subscribe to this channel. I will give what I get. I also do a live stream practice over on Patreon, on my Patreon, Tina Clark Wellness, the practice, every month. So if you want to join me live, where I talk for 20 minutes or so, we do a live guided practice by me for 20 minutes or so, and then there's time for questions at the end. So if you want to join that, go over to my Patreon. See you next time. Coming through with so much love from me and from this being that I channeled today. Have a good day.